Get him, get him.
Oh my God!
Calm down. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, dude!
Dude.
6 pounds, 11 ounces. Oh, 2 points.
Oh my. Limp. That's what I've been waiting for all day.
That's over 6.
True. And that one's.
Oh, here he goes.
Go. Good?
That's a big fish.
Full hand on tail. Yeah, it looks sick. Good to go.
Look how broad that thing is.
I wonder if that was the one that followed me in.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Holy sh! God. What a beast.
Oh, wow. That might be a 4. That might be a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. You guys show that off too. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Holy.
Another good one.
Holy sh! What the? Is that another 6?
Could be.
It's the second giant of the day, proving that point. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes!
Big baits, big fish. There we go. 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Beauty! Dude, I'm not even joking. It happened again.
You kidding me?
Nope.
Is it big?
Oh! That's strong.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's a fat fish, dude.
4.
Holy. Dude. Holy hell, that's long.
Yeah, it is.
5, 4, 6. What?
Yeah. Just rock.
Got him. Get in here, you. There's another 6. You. That's a big fish.
6'10". Woo-hoo-hoo. Little fatty.
Okay, we're good.
Hey, we're back.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back. We are going to talk a lot about the New England Fishing Expo coming up February 2nd through 4th down in Marlborough, Mass. It's going to be a good one. But before we get into it, one of the things we have not done in a while, let's do a sound off on who's in the chat. So let me run through this really quick. Gordy, Kevin, and other Kevin. Better Kevin, no offense, Kevin Doyle. But other Kevin is doing apparel for me, so he is better Kevin at this time.
Better Kevin.
Z20, Mike, Dan, Freedom Fishing, Lizard Al, Nick, Jim B, Footy Fan, Mark, Mr. Miller, Alec, fellow Ben's Tackle Shack team member. How do you do, sir?
Good evening.
David, Chris, fellow Kenwood Camp mentor. And Dan, the man, the owner of said expo that we're going to be previewing tonight. There's a lot of companies that are going to this. If you haven't been to the New England Fishing Expo before, then your socks are going to get rocked when you go to this one because there's a lot more space and a lot more vendors.
Bring a spare pair.
Bring a spare pair. Bring all of your fun money that you're allowed for the next several months. Prepare to spend a lot of time. And more importantly, be prepared to find something to do for your wife afterwards because you are going to need something to say, I am sorry with.
Fire a bait.
Yeah. There'll be tons of swim baits, tons of tackle.
You're going to be doing a whole lot of different type of baiting after that.
Jesus.
Well, she's not going to. She'll be pissed.
Oh, well, for everybody that's already here, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you as always. Here's one of the things that I rarely also ask for, especially this early on. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. For those that haven't, turn on post notifications because that's always a plus side. Most importantly, because I am god-awful at having a consistent upload schedule. Soon to change. So that's always helpful. And do us a favor if you haven't done so yet as well, whether you're watching here on YouTube or on Facebook, drop a like on the stream while you're watching. Just a simple little click. Like helps immensely. So for those that have done it already, thank you. For those that haven't done it yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Get it done.
Get on it.
Get it to it. So before we really cover everybody that's going to be at the show, I am curious. Do you have a set budget?
Me?
Or do you have a set goal? Is there anything defined about your shopping experience coming up for the show?
I probably won't be doing much shopping. I'm going to be working the entire show. So
that's a lie because you're going to have Saturday. You're going to be done on by the time Friday morning rolls around. You're going to have time, probably the last hour of Friday night. And you're going to have
Actually,
all
Friday
the time
night,
Saturday morning.
Friday night, I'm going to be getting down there late, so because I have to stay at the shop.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be at the show because I need to stay at the shop just to have a body there, and then get out at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then I'll make my way down. So I should be there before close.
Plenty of time.
Yes.
Yeah, because it stays open until 8. No. Yes. No.
Something like that.
It's either 7 or 8 on Friday. I think it's 8, and then it's 10 to 7 on Saturday.
I don't even know how long it takes to get down there. Probably like an hour and a half.
Yeah, for you with traffic, maybe an hour and 40.
I'm hopping right on
Wait,
the
no,
highway.
you're getting right on the highway. Never mind. You're straight shot right to 495, down to just past 90 to what is it's Route 20, I think is what it's on.
Roads. Lots of them. I'll be on them.
I like what Mark said. Credit cards melting all weekend. Josh actually made probably the best point. For those that are coming down with family that may not, we'll say reluctant to joining you at the show, Apex Entertainment is across the street. And while that does sound like a gentleman's club, that is not the case. It's actually an arcade and go-karts and the whole shebang. Pool tables, bowling, the whole 9 yards, which I do believe we might be doing a little go-kart racing over the weekend. I looked into it. You have to be at least 16. So Jared can't join us.
I can't join you. Damn it.
All right, I'm gonna leave Chris to pin any other comments he feels are appropriate. I just saw those two. I want to get to them. I have I wouldn't say I have a set budget, but I do have a goal in mind. I want a Clash 9. I want another 9-inch shad glide from Bull Shad Swimbaits, but I want a crappie pattern, and I want one painted by Jen. She's the one that did that yellow perch pattern.
Yeah, I know.
I want one of her
She does
crappies.
a really good job.
Oh yeah, dude, phenomenal.
I just want one bait. I'm not even going to tell you guys what it is.
Wait, do I know what it is?
Nope.
Well, screw you.
Nobody's going to know until I get it. 'Cause I don't even know what it is yet.
I don't know if anybody's gonna have a Clash 9 down there, but it is something I would like to get.
MGC might.
Yeah, true. I'd settle for a TK, little tiny Clash, but I want the Clash 9. But it's I don't know, man. There's a lot of options. I know. All I know is that I'm adding more glides to the collection. Maybe a few other soft body swim baits, but like that's it. Really, the only thing I'm down there for is all that stuff for traditional tackle. I literally have everything I need. So unless I see something really special, like maybe a one-off color on a Mega Bass Vision 110, that'd probably be the only one that I would get for traditional. But that's going to be about it. Otherwise, I'm looking to blow the wad. I will tell you right now, if I can get one of those perch from Piz, I will happily spend the 300 whatever bucks it's going to be. But I'm not counting myself too lucky for that.
Well, if Rocky Ledge has all those.
Oh, the old
old Mega Bass.
Yeah, those the
110s.
original Itos.
Because I lost. Did I lose every single one of them? I think I did.
Jody, you got a 9-inch bull glide? Is it a crappie pattern painted by Jen Jekyll there? That would be phenomenal. I would interest you. Josh, Piss is not going to be there, but Swimbait Universe is going to be there with a ton of stuff, including a ton of stuff specifically from Piz. So, in a way, Piz will be there.
Piz without Piz.
Piz without Piz. Piz without Paul.
Piz without no Paul Piz.
No Paul Piz.
Paul is not pizzing this year.
No. Jody White only uses cream wiggle worms. We don't know what Jody does. For all we know, he has this like shaman come out and bless his boat and all his rods and reels before every tournament.
Has the smoke going?
Just shad looking. I don't want shad.
He burns sage while he fishes.
Keep all the bad juju away. All right, let's get into it because I'm hoping, I don't know how long this is going to take because there's a lot that I want to cover. I want to make sure I do due diligence to everybody that we want to mention, first off. And then second, to be able to leave plenty of time to answer any questions people have specific to either specific baits or particular vendors, whole 9 yards. And I came prepared. I got my notepad, so I'd make sure I didn't miss anybody important. There's going to be a lot of these companies that are coming there that I cannot cover. I have, at a quick glance, probably 18 or so vendors that I'm going to mention, and that's probably like a third of who's going to be there. No, less, maybe a quarter, somewhere in that range, man. There's a lot of people going. This is going to be great. All right, right there, Northeast Bass Fishing. Pink is Oliver going to have those. Oh, Wait, what happened? There we go.
There it is.
So all we're going to have those Defiant buzz baits and spinner baits available at the show. I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Was that a Chappelle show?
Yes.
I think it was.
We shall see. We have a lot of stuff. So let's cover the easy one first, right? Us, Reel Nothern Bass. Well, half of us. I mean, he's there in spirit. He's there physically, but he's not in the booth physically because he got work for his job.
That's all right.
So,
It'll be fun.
But Reel Nothern Bass will be there. We're going to have our own booth, and it's going to be with Big Bass Streams and Defiant Fishing. We're going to have, I actually just talked to Kevin, who's here in the chat, about getting everything squared away. We were almost not going to have extra large and XXLs in the Army Green. He got that sorted, so we're good. So it's going to be Army Green hoodies with the original logo, nice and circular. Hang on. Skirt. Aha. And then that new alternate logo that we created, that square-ish format where it's just all words. So it's going to be Army Green hoodie with a black logo. And then I've got T-shirts. It's this really, really cool dark blue. And that's going to have both logos as well, but in white. And then we're going to have some kids' shirts. I think they're only going to have the original logo, the circle logo. I forget. Maybe I did both. And we're going to have new hats, kind of like this Big Bass Dreams one with the leather patch. And we're going to have both the circular one and the new square one. Trying to think, did I miss something? For hats, it's going to be, so like I wear flat brim, structured front. He wears a more traditional trucker hat, curved brim, still structured front, but like lays down a little bit like flatter against the head versus straight up on like most of my flat brims. We're going to have, trucker style. So they're mesh back, cloth front, but flat brim and traditional trucker, black in the front, gray in the front, black in the back with the same patch, either the circle or the square. And last minute, I added just a traditional black flat brim hat, no mesh, and that'll have both logos as well. So that's everything for Northern Bass, for what we're going to have, aside from myself, my wife, who I really tried to convince to come down here and be the one to hawk the Real Northern Bass booth, which would have been hilarious.
There she is.
See, you're just in time to talk about the Northern Bass.
Bye, thank you.
And let me get a little closer for a second. I just want to show you guys this. Focus. Focus. Bring it in. Bring it up.
Need a carton of orange juice.
Come on. Whatever, you get the gist of it. It's not going to focus, so it is what it is. Could you show a close-up new logo if you have it handy? Yes, I did the best that I could, but fancy camera is good for staying focused, not breaking focus, unfortunately. So, I mean, I could try and as best I can do. But it's going to look, dude, it's good. Like, that's the literal hat. All black with that logo. It's offset, just like the other ones we did. And it'll have the circle logo, same spot, about the same size. It's a little bit taller, but overall it takes up about the same amount of area on the front. Like, dude, that came out so good.
Yeah, it did.
I'm beyond stoked that this worked out.
You can actually see the bass in it too.
Yeah,
Like really well.
And it's not that big of a patch. It's like not even 2 inches tall, but you can clearly see all the detail in it. So I'm stoked about that. It came out phenomenal. Kevin over there at Co-Ed Sportswear did a phenomenal job. Was able to get everything in one-stop shop this time too. Simplifies my life. So there's that. Next up, Ben's Tackle Shack. They're going to be there.
I hope so. They're running the whole damn show.
I know. They're going to have a 30-foot booth. They're bringing the whole damn store. So if you're there and you're not really sure what you want to get, you kind of want at least a starting point for getting like a whole smorgasbord of tackle, Ben's has got you covered. Not only going to have tackle, but they're also going to have rods and reels. And, they're primarily a Lew's and Strike King dealer. So if you're looking for Lew's reels or Lew's rods, Strike King gear, they're going to have it all. But they also carry other things like Shimano. I honestly might be buying another Corrado while I'm down there, but that's neither here nor there.
Don't tempt me.
They do carry some Daiwa, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go back to all Shimano at this point.
I kind of want another Tula 300.
Dude, I go back and forth. Like Shimano, Daiwa, you really can't go wrong with
They're
either
the
one.
same thing.
Yeah, like they're
Not, but they're close.
even when we were sponsored by Lew's, we
Still
didn't
doing Shimano.
mince words about it. Like the Shimano and Daiwa were top of the dog, top of the heap. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. But I digress. They're going to have all that stuff. They have a ton of other traditional tackle, like literally anything you can imagine. And then the plus side, too, is for those that live kind of in that area where they're located in Leicester, Mass., you go to the show, you see what they have to offer. If you ever need to go back and get something, now you know where to go. So there's that. They're going to have a lot of good stuff.
Everybody's going to have a lot of good stuff. It's going to be crazy. Like every year. It's just a blast.
Yeah, and
you spend way more money than you think you're going to.
every time.
Every
Dude,
time.
was it
I ended
last year?
up broke last year.
Last year, I told the wife, I was like, I just want one big glide. And I thought it was going to be like 150. No. The one that's the 9-inch shad glide from Bull Shad, painted by Jekyll.
They're like 230 or something like that.
225. And I'm totally buying another one this year, dude. I only caught one fish on that this year, but I like it because the action on it's phenomenal. Like Bull Shad is, even with his mass production, he still makes phenomenal glides. He has a 7-inch trick shad, and I might buy 2 of those as well.
Ooh, I forgot about those.
Because I just want a few more 7-inch ones to add into the arsenal.
I need to buy 2 baits.
Yep. So anyway, and then, dude, Jen at Jekyll, I think it's just Jekyll Baits. She does like a lot of like the really custom paints on all the Bull Shad, and I really have a hard time finding anybody that's better than her. And that yellow perch pattern she painted, phenomenal. But she worked really close with Brian Correa, who's on like Bull Shad team. He lives up here in New Hampshire, so like he gave her everything she needed to see to be able to make sure she got a really good paint on that. And they like worked a little bit together, and she nailed it. Like it's just phenomenal. And the black crappie patterns that they have too are phenomenal too.
They look so good.
Yep.
So good.
I am mucho excito for all of that. I'm going to be spending way too much money. I already know it. All my profits are going to be gone before I even get out of there.
Mark, up to 2 baits and a tie reel. Damn it. There's $1,000.
Yep. All gone. See you. Bye. All right, so we're going to go through the rest of our sponsors. These are important guys for a number of reasons, not just because they're our sponsors, but because these are guys we worked with for a long time for a lot of damn good reasons, and you're going to continue to work with them. I saw in the chat, someone asked, Beast Coast Fishing, are they going to be there? You're damn right they're going to be there. And he's probably going to bring like $20,000 worth of jigs. So if you guys are there looking for jigs, especially tungsten jigs, you've come to the right place.
You better get them because the show deals are... You don't want to miss out on them at all.
No. So one of the things to keep in mind, though, if Beast Coast runs out of something specific, run over to Ben's Tackle Shack's booth because they carry a lot of Beast Coast stuff as well. So there's a little chance there that if Beast Coast doesn't have something you're looking for specifically, you can run over to Ben's and they might still have it. So keep that in mind. You can kind of double dip on Beast Coast while you're there. But I know he's going to have the whole complement of his entire lineup while he's there. I know he goes heavy on the open water snipers because we have talked about them a lot, and a lot of you guys have thankfully listened to us and have experienced for yourself just how freaking good that jig is. So he's getting constantly cleaned out of that. I know there's a lot of other guys all over the Northeast that have spoken very, very often and eloquently about that jig. Plenty of baby dozers, little Magnum, especially that new 3/4 ounce version that he just came out with late this year. So for you grass guys, I missed the comment, Chris. I'm sorry. Throw it back up. And he might have the new Swimbait jig heads. He's trying like hell. He's been teasing it on Instagram, and he's not one to really kind of falsely lead people. So there's a good chance he's going to have those in stock. A lot of slow flows. If you people are sleeping on that, that's your own damn fault because we did really well with those this year. What are you looking at?
I'm just reading.
Okay.
I haven't been able to read these really that well for the last, 3 years now?
Well, I
have contacts and I can see.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Perfect. Mark, are they allowed to sell the lead jigs there? I don't know the mass rules. So I looked into it. I do not believe you're allowed to sell lead jigs there. That was my interpretation of the law, because when I was talking to Oliver about it for Defiant, thinking about trying to bring in something from them, can't because they're lead, the way I looked at it. So I don't know.
Alex says you can sell lead in mass.
You can still sell lead in mass?
I'm sure you can. I mean, New Hampshire, you still buy lead.
New Hampshire, you're not supposed to, though. Like, they're very clear on the law. If it's under an ounce,
oh yeah,
they're not even
under
supposed
an
to sell
ounce.
it in the
That's
state.
right. I was gonna say they make those big freaking.
Well, and I read it like just like a couple weeks ago when Oliver and I were talking about this, and the way I interpreted it is you can't even sell lead in the state.
Like the walleye weights.
Yeah, Dan, if he's still here, would be better to clarify on this. Cody, if that's so, I don't know. You know what, Dan? Yeah, if you could elaborate on that, because there's still a chance. Like, if we're allowed to, then oh my God, yeah.
Oh, I can't
have them on the shelf in New Hampshire.
Dang.
Oh, what's stupid? But it is what it is. I mean, it's great, but it's stupid.
In New York too, you can sell it in New York, but you can't fish it.
Can't sell it in New York, but you can fish it. I don't understand.
None of these states make sense.
Silly. Absolutely silly.
It's like you can buy a prostitute, but you can't.
If you record it and make a video from it, then it's
Then you make
considered a production.
OnlyFans.
And
It's a production.
lead free or die. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell there, Jody.
Lead free or die. That's great.
Yeah, so like Alec, F them loons. I didn't see if Dan chimed in, but I'm sure if he does, someone will pop it up there. But I don't know, I'll get clarity on it. The way I interpret it, no, you can't. But remains to be seen. Doesn't matter. There's a ton of tungsten tackle that Beast Coast offers. More importantly than anything, though, they're swim baits, like any of their soft baits. If you haven't used the Magic Flick yet, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. We've talked about that for years. It's one of the first baits I started using from them back in 2017, and it's still my go-to for drop shots. I use it a lot on Ned rigs, a ton on Demiki rigs. It's a really, really, really good bait. And he has a lot of really good colors for it, too. Soul Flow, again, if you're sleeping on it, man, that's your own fault. We played around with that a lot this year. I even tried a couple of really strange techniques with it, and it still worked incredible. Works pretty good on the A-rig. Not the 2.8s, but the bigger ones, the 3.8s. That works really well on an A-rig. They're phenomenal. The Miyagi, like, come on. That's still a phenomenal swim bait. It's 4.65 inches. They have the Creeps, the 6.5-inch swim baits. Flippin' Delight.
Hello.
I don't know what else you're waiting for if you haven't tried throwing that yet, because, my God, that bait is still phenomenal.
Cat piss and Fritos.
And here's the thing. You can speak better to this, and just so I give you a chance to speak, because I'm just rambling now.
That's
about the versatility of that bait.
The versatility?
Yeah. And
you could literally use it on any jig, anything. You can punch with it. You can throw it on a jig. You can cut it down, make it a teeny tiny little profile on like the open water sniper. You can throw it on the back of on a chatterbait or bladed jig.
Yep.
Or whatever, anything. It's just a great trailer. I think I threw it on a spinnerbait once and caught a fish on it because I didn't have any swim baits left.
I believe you were right.
Or no, definitely chatterbait, but I think I did on a spinnerbait too.
You know what I like about that trailer the most is there's a lot of action to it, kind of like a Striking Rage Craw, but it doesn't always present itself with a ton of action. By that, I mean, it's like, if I'm fishing colder water, I typically don't throw a Rage Craw. If I'm doing a lot of dead sticking, then slow drags, I don't go with that jig. There's too much going on. It's the wrong profile. I want something a little bit straighter legs. That's the beauty of the Flippin' Delight. The way you can trim it out and pull off some of the appendages and stuff, it has a ton of action. So on the fall, those legs are going to kick like crazy. But then when it stands and presents itself, the claws just stick out like fairly straight. So I like that because it provides more of the year that it can be really, really effective than otherwise. Jody, I just remembered you're chiming in from Florida, which I appreciate you greatly, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's been killing it down there.
I know.
Even down in Florida. This guy's unstoppable no matter where he goes. What tournament was it that you just finished in? And you were the only guy in the top 20 from not in Florida. I think it was actually like the top 23 people.
Really?
Florida. Jody White, Vermont. Florida. I was like, dude, that's awesome.
He just knows.
He really does. But all right, anyway, that's enough on Beast Coast. We've covered them thoroughly. They're going to be there. They're going to have a big booth. You won't be able to miss them. Go check them out. Next up, your turn. Bass Fishing Electronics. They're not a sponsor, but
we will be there.
Great people. So they're going to be there. You can wax eloquent, man. Tell them about everything.
We'll be there. We are bringing a lot of stuff. There's going to be, we got a 40-foot booth with, was it Lowrance on one side and Humminbird on the other, I believe?
No.
Or is it?
For vendors not in your booth, just opposing you?
Yeah, or is it Garmin?
Garmin on one side.
Garmin and
Humminbird and Minn Kota on the other.
That's right. That's what it was.
Because they're both owned by Johnson Outdoors. I learned things at my job.
It's going to be one hell of a booth, and you guys have to stop by to see me. And we have a local Bassmaster Elite that's going to be in the booth with us. So you can meet him, talk with him. There's going to be some good deals. There's going to be pretty sure there's going to be a bunch of used product there too. Few trolling motors. We got a surprise boat that we've been working on for a while now. and it's sick. You guys are going to want to come see that. It's loaded with a lot of cool stuff. So definitely got to come by and see that, and come by and see me. Hello, I'll be there. So it's going to be sick. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you should be. I know. So I know there's going to be you, Steve, and Brian. Who else is going to be in the booth with you guys? For like, somebody's going to be there all weekend. There's another gentleman. I can't remember his name.
I believe Nicole's going to be there. Randy's going to be there.
Randy.
And the surprise guest.
Surprise guest. Now, would this surprise guest, per any chance, also be someone who may or may not have been on the show recently?
Yes.
I actually know of another gentleman that will be in your booth, by the way. For Lawrence.
I forgot.
Owen.
Oh, really?
Yep. Or at least that's what I was told. I know connections, guys. I know things about I know people.
Not that, Randy. Yes, Josh, it's Tim Doobie.
Randy Blockett is going to be there.
Yeah, with all that forward-facing sonar on that boat,
Could you
he'll
imagine?
freaking implode.
I feel like that would actually be a really good sales tactic, too. Just have Randy in there. Down with forward-facing sonar. It's the devil. And everybody's like, F you, Randy. I'm going to buy it anyways. He was just like,
That'd be a good sales tactic for us.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, there you go. Josh asked, any aftermarket large screens available from BFE? I want a 24-inch screen.
DJ's going to be helping out, too.
DJ going to be there helping out at our booth a little bit in Berkshire. Josh asked the question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even hear.
Any aftermarket large screens available from BFE? I want a 24-inch screen.
Oh, no.
I just saw an angler had a 22-inch screen on the front of his boat, and I legitimately could not tell if it was a joke or not.
Seth Fighter?
No, somebody else.
It's real.
Is it really real?
Yeah, it's real.
Okay, so I'm going to go to two 22s. I'm going to have active target 2-on-1 and live scope LSV.
Like Steve's new boat.
Wait, is it LSV or LVS?
Huh?
Is it LSV 34 or LVS? I forget.
LVS.
Okay, active target 2-on-1 and LVS 34 on the other. Two 22-inch screens. So it's a whole freaking bow.
Dude.
Tell you what, we'll never have to worry about stuffing another wave ever again because there's going to be a wall in front of us to deflect all the water.
You just got to worry about the 20 grand worth of units on the front.
So, oh my God, that perfect. Okay, Bass Fishing Electronics spear shield, right? And it'd be a molded plastic cone that goes over the whole front of your boat that flares up and goes just below and above your sonars. So when you do inevitably spear a wave from the 3,000 pounds of electronics on the bow, it hits like this snowplow of water and deflects water either down onto the deck or like up and over your head like a giant wave. Trust me, it's gonna work.
No, I know. I'm just
think of it like a V-plow right in front of all
I
your crabs.
know how we could do it too. That would be cool. It would definitely help save your electronics.
Yeah, it would.
And save your mounts and everything from breaking mounts and everything.
I mean, honestly, now the more I think about it, I said it in jest, but like I was literally thinking like this giant plastic like molded shield that goes over the entire bow of your boat. But the more I think about it, you could get a molded plastic that would literally be like a half an inch bigger than the outside size of your graph. And it would just clip onto the back of the gimbal mount and then get screwed in. Like it'd have passive holes for the thumb screws to go through.
You'd have to have it screwed into the front of the boat or it's going to catch water and rip it right off. So you could put it on like a windshield almost.
No, I'm thinking like literally put it on the back of the gimbal mount. Just the same size as the sounder, the graph, the side, the screen.
That could work.
Little like V-plow thing. So if waves hits it, like slamming water into any exposed connectors and just deflect all the water around it.
That could work.
Nobody take that.
As long as it doesn't get in the way of the trolling motor, it's good to go.
It probably will be. We're in Little Ridge. We're going to talk about food too.
There's a lot of room up front on a boat, but at the same time, there's not a lot of room up front on the boat.
No, I know. I'm pinning this one, Chris. Will the concession stands have ham salad?
Oh, I friggin' hope so.
That's disgusting.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. That's where all my money's going. The baits.
Oh, interesting, Josh. Yeah, that's kind of one of those things that it's difficult to get into the screen game, right? Because you can't specifically make one per se for specific companies like Lawrence's or Garmin's. because you just can't. Anyway, I digress. Onward.
Oh, the pickles.
Pocono pickle guy, he's going to be there. We're not talking about food yet. That's at the end.
Yeah, but food's good.
I'm full. I had a delicious meat lover's calzone for dinner.
I have a huge thing of freaking
More enchiladas?
spaghetti and pot and sauce and meatballs. What do you call that? Spaghetti meatballs. and a big old side of freaking meatloaf and mashed potatoes and peas. I'm so excited to go home.
Spaghetti and meat sauce and the meatballs. What's that called? Spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and the jerky.
Jesus. Yeah, Mr. B's.
That's my bad.
It's like that really thin, crispy jerky, but it's delicious.
It crunches when you. Oh.
I don't understand how it's so good, but it is. Okay.
Spaghetti and ham salad. Thank you. That's what it is.
Get out. All right. Big Bass Dreams and Defiant are going to be there as well. So Oliver and I and Riley Kolick, they're going to be there, which is going to be awesome. So they're going to be there for the whole weekend. They're going to be in the booth. I'm not sure how we're going to lay this out yet, but it's Big Bass Dreams, Defiant, and Reel Nothern Bass all in one giant 10 by 30 booth, all right next to each other. And directly across from us is going to be Douglas Rods. So we're hitting 3-in-1 with this. Big Bass Dreams is going to be there with a ton of apparel as always. Hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves, hats, carpet decals. You actually have quite a few carpet decals on hand. So there will be those for Defiant. Bring your damn wallets because we're going to have a ton of baits. We had
I know I'm buying some.
Few of the 247s left over from last year. I think we literally only had 2 of the 210s left over. So that's you can speak more about the swim baits. So you go do your thing.
The Defiants are just amazing. They're line throughs. They're dual hooked line through. Oh, there's one right
I got at the 210 and rainbow trout right there, baby. Would you like me to display? I'll be your Hannah White. Your Vanna White? Is it Hannah or Vanna? I forget.
Hannah Vanna. Hannah from Vanna.
Banana Hammer?
So it's you can't really see it. Can you? You can't really see it. But there's a hook here and a hook.
Ha!
Kinda.
Yeah, you can see it. Clear as day.
It's a full line through. Hooks come out. It's like.
Throw it in front of the paper. I promise. Yeah. Ha!
There you go.
It's a little far back, but at least you can see it clearly.
There's a little peg on the rear hook. You can't really see it. But when you have the line through set up, you got a forward hook, the rear hook with the little peg sticks right down into the bait. Boom. Rigged. You can do a top hook or bottom hook. This comes in the 210 or the 247. The 210 is what? I think it's an 8-inch bait, roughly. And the 247 is, I think, close to 10 inches.
Yes.
And I forget the weights.
The 210s were 4.4 ounces, and the 247s, bear with me, I will find it.
4.8, I believe.
That's the 210, which is
There's
an
an 8 1/4
inch. And then where's the 247? Oh,
right there.
247 is a 9.75 inch, and it's anywhere from 6 to 7.2 ounces.
I want the 7.2.
That's the fast sink. Slow sink is 6 ounces. Moderate sink is 6.8. Fast sink is 7.2. Again, that's for the 247, which is 9 3/4 inches.
So just imagine this, but that much longer.
Yeah,
it's an amazing bait. I got one and I love it, but I haven't really thrown it that much.
No, I didn't buy one. I need to, though.
I'm buying one. That's one of the baits I'm buying.
Now, the other one was the 210, which is the one he was holding up, and that's literally light trout, too. I was joking with Ryan about it. But that is anywhere from 4 to 4.6 ounces. So 8 1/4 inches. Slow sink is 4 ounces. Moderate sink is 4.2, and the fast sink is 4.6. Back it up a smidge. I feel like if you back up and then slowly approach. There you go. Oh, yeah. I do this. Yeah, oh, it worked.
You get the idea. Oh.
Easy. Doing meatball.
But you can also line through and rig this with a top treble hook or a bottom treble hook, which
Line
also works very well.
Bottom is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. They're great baits. They swim phenomenal. That's a bait that I desperately tried to get comfortable with last year, and I just didn't put in the time. As much time as I should have, but that's going to change this year. I'm changing my approach just a smidge when it comes to fun fishing days. And I have another idea for that I'm absolutely doing that I'm going to have all the confidence in the world with. And it's going to be fun. So there's that. And so we're also going to have some other stuff from Defiant as well. A ton of fishing line. We have talked about a ton of fishing line from them since we first picked them up. What, 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's when I got this 23.6 pounds soft casting fluorocarbon. And then they picked us up last year, beginning of the year, and I've been using their line exclusively. We have put that heavy cover fluorocarbon through the ringer, through hell and back.
Dude.
Tried and true, tested to its limits on Champlain, 15 to 20 days this year?
Something like that.
And that's all jig fishing, by the way. So we're all in that crazy riprap rock, all that ledge, shale, zebra mussels. How many fish did we break off?
Yeah, not really any, except we broke jigs off, but that was because we got them stuck in the rocks, and that was about it.
Which I'm pretty sure, and then that what we thought was timber, come to find out, in that one particular spot. That almost broke a rod at because I lost like 8 jigs in a row.
Oh, yeah, true.
And it's hard to break that line, man. That 15.5 is no joke.
I think it's more than 15. It's got to be.
It's got to be. So I was thinking about it, and I was looking at it, and I think we're actually downsized to 14 pound for all my jigs this year.
Probably not a bad idea. I mean, for how strong the 15 is, we don't need it. We really don't need it.
Well, think about this. It's like some of the crap we've done with straight 12 pound, too.
Yeah.
That's held up fine. Now, I granted, if I'm throwing jigs, I'm much more likely to be in the rocks, so I want to have just that added insurance, and it certainly,
abrasion resistance.
Yep, and it certainly doesn't seem to hinder our fish catching ability because literally all of my jig rods have the 15.5 pound, and we've done pretty good. And every year prior to that, I had 15 pound from everybody else, regardless of what brand or model it was. It was 15 pound, always has been. Mm-hmm. This will be the year I go down to 14. I think I'll still be good, but there's going to be some other stuff too from Defiant that we previously touched upon a little bit earlier, but keep it as a surprise. There's going to be a lot of good stuff from all those. And then directly across from us is going to be Douglas Rods, who we signed with earlier in 2023 and got confirmation. We are back with them for 2024. Hey, yep. Oh, that was terrible. That's all right.
Thanks.
That's better.
Smack me in the face.
Supposed to hit against it. Anyway, so Sean Miller, not Sean Miller, Ryan Miller, who's in the chat, he's going to be there working with it the whole weekend. Their new sales guy, Christian, he's going to be there the whole weekend. And if anybody has any questions for us as well, if those guys are tied up, by all means, come over, talk to us. Oliver is one of their ambassadors as well. So if you have Swimbait specific questions that Andrew can't answer, then
you have literally the best, most knowledgeable person about swimbaits in that booth. So
true.
If you guys want to know anything about swimbaits, he's the guy.
C.
Andrew asked any other swim baits. We're getting to that. Did I get it? Chris, I'm sorry, I missed it again. I'm actually trying to look at the camera, and I keep forgetting to look at that. But then it looks weird when I'm not looking at the people I'm talking to. So I missed it. I looked over just in time to see it go poof, disappeared into the ether.
The nether?
Yes. Last but not least, Crazy Hick Bait Company. Ooh, Kevin, that's what it was. Will the Douglas ERA casting rods be there? Wondering how those are.
I don't.
Ryan, no, they're not going to be. Ryan touched on it. Chris, if you want to grab that. The ERA rods are on a cargo ship. They will not be there. They tried. They did try. Had that conversation with Ryan. Unfortunately, they will not make it to the show on time, which is quite unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. They're pretty sick. We got to use them up on Champlain earlier. Was it this year? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Earlier this year. In the fall?
October?
Sometime in the fall.
I think it was October. Yeah, it was. Because it was after the Berkshire event.
Yep.
I think it was the following weekend.
I think it was too.
Yeah, and DJ.
They are sick. I was throwing a mag draft on one, and it was... I was skipping mag draft way up underneath this bridge, and it was...
Yeah, that was dumb.
It felt so good.
Didn't you lose that swim bait too when you hung it up on the bridge? I know you hung it up one time, but I don't remember if we lost it.
No, I got it.
Okay, couldn't remember.
Wasn't my bait, wasn't my rod, wasn't my reel, so didn't want to lose anything.
Real quick before we get to the last one that I briefly touched upon for a moment there, Carla, thank you very much for the donation. Greatly appreciate you. For anybody that is interested, at any point, we are always accepting donations. And there is 3 ways that can be done. Down in the video description below, there is a link to both, well, at least the information, both our PayPal and Venmo. Or if you're set up to do it here, you can donate directly through the live stream chat. No pressure from us by any means. Every dollar helps. I put it right back into the channel. So for anybody that does that, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you. Okay, last but not least on the sponsorship side of things, we got Crazy Hick Bait Company. And they're bringing everything.
Dude,
everything.
literally everything. He showed up here. He did a show with us once here.
He did.
And he showed up. He's like, "You guys want some bait? Like just some ice fishing stuff? Just like a couple bags?" He's like, "Just come out to the truck, pick a couple."
His truck was packed to the brim.
Dude, like the whole truck, all baits. He's like, "This is just a little bit of it." He's bringing it all.
So specifically, if you're curious what he's got, I will tell you, ball tail grub for you ice anglers, phenomenal bait. It's actually one of the only soft plastics I have for the limited ice fishing I do. It's one of the first things I grab because again, it's something that I don't do a lot of. And I was like, then this is before we started working with him. I was like, well, screw it. If we're going to get something ice fishing, I'm going to get local. And I know he's local. I've known Jason for a while. So I grabbed those and I love them. Those things are great. For traditional baits, thingamajig, his twin-tailed hula grub. Perfect. Chef's kiss. It's a very strange chef's kiss, but you get my point. Yeah, that's better. Thank you. And I want to make sure the Smack Snack is 3-inch and 3.5-inch swim baits. Those are really, really good. Its formulation is good. It's still got really good action to it, but they're still durable. Like they're way more durable than any Kitech I've ever thrown. And he's got a lot of good color combinations on it. We actually did exceptionally well throwing those on the back of open water snipers this year. Like exceptionally well. So highly recommend you look at that. If you're not going to grab the slow float from Beast Coast, then I highly recommend you look at the Smack Snack swim baits from the Crazy Hick Bait Company.
And for all you big bait dudes, he's got the hold on, go down.
Skirt.
Is that I get 14 up one?
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. The classic Magnum, the 14-inch.
14-inch
ribbon tail worm. It is, dude. I have some of them. They're pretty sick. They're huge, but they're cool.
Oh, Mark M. Siggs. He has a great drop shot bait as well. Yes, the cattail shad is one of them. Phenomenal. One of the things I do want to touch upon that he makes that I don't know that anybody else does it, the point guard. So it's like little thin strip of soft plastic, but it's got like basically an eyelet on one end. So you put it over your eyelet on your hook, right? And then you tie off on it and you stretch that a little bit and you cover the hook point on whatever you're throwing. So like say you're throwing, oh man, I don't even
It's
know.
like a soft plastic weed guard. Like,
Yeah. But really? It's like it's subtle and you can trim it down. Like you can just go over the hook point and you can trim it right back to that. So it doesn't necessarily stand out, especially on a skirted jig. But if you want something that was like truly weedless without giving up any potential of missing a fish, like this is it. Point guard is the best thing ever. And one of the things I was thinking about was we should be throwing that when we're throwing football jigs, like specifically in rocks, like the sniper, especially like the regular sniper, the 44 strand. That when we're down in the rocks and we're far less likely to get hung up on the hook point and we're not going to miss any fish.
No, definitely not.
Because it's thin. It's just like the same soft plastic you make baits from.
It's like a 1-inch Senko with a little loop at the end.
Yeah, but it's
pretty much
thin. It's
teeny,
like
teeny, tiny.
eighth of an inch, maybe
No,
3/16.
maybe smaller. Yeah, something like that probably.
Yeah, all I know is that they're great. Mark said Crazy Hicks Helgramites are awesome too. I will take your word for it. I do not doubt it. I've seen them. I just haven't personally used them, so I can't speak to those specifically.
Peach bug.
Yeah, peach bug. Oh yeah, and the Dexty Dew grub. Those things are pretty sweet. I really like those. I've used those quite a bit. Flowing Bum Ned. Those are also good. Use those quite a bit. So he's going to be there. He's going to have his full complement. One of the other things he does have too is the Ziegler bladed jig. Also phenomenal. I've used that quite a bit as well. Andrew, what? Question marks galore. Not you, Andrew. The other Andrew.
Oh.
Is he still waiting
Hi,
to hear
Andrew.
about swim baits? We're getting there. It's actually next on the list. Swim baits. The impatient ones of the group. Dude, there's going to be a lot of swim bait guys. And the majority of these people are going to have their own booth, which is good. But there's actually still going to be quite a few others that are going to be at the Swim Bait Universe booth. And that's the only spot you can get them, like Piz, as previously mentioned. I'm not sure the entire breadth of baits that they're going to have from Piz, but from a lot of the pictures you've been posting and teasing, I do believe they're going to have quite a significant amount of that. At least I know to the point that I'm already hearing about people that are planning on camping out the night before because all the bait flippers, which they're the bane of the fishing world. But if you want to talk about other guys that also have really great things that are going to be there, let's start at the top. Sherpa Swim Baits. Because Pasong is the man. He's our friend.
He is awesome.
Wicked good dude. Spent a weekend with him up on Champlain back in May of this year. And
He tied me an FG knot in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that guy has practiced at a time or two, huh?
Jeez.
I wonder
He's just
if-
like blah, 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 done.
Who also does a lot of saltwater fishing too? So I'm assuming he must be able to double down on practicing that.
Oh yeah.
Assuming, on top
sure
of the
that's
fact
all
that
he
he's just
uses.
really good at it.
He is.
anyway. I need to get back to tying that, especially for like my heavier line applications where I'm more likely to have it break at the knot because I do something stupid and it just doesn't work. If I tie it FG, it'll fix that. Especially for that.
Sorry.
Especially for that, for the big line. Where you're throwing 100-pound braid to like, 30-pound shock leader? Is that what you're doing, or 50? I forget.
100 pound to 40.
100-pound to 40. Yeah, that really should have an FG knot.
Yeah. For sure.
Big FG knot.
I just gotta learn it.
It's not.
I've tied it once and it held. But then I broke every bait off. And then I had like a leader this long and I just didn't retie it.
Phenomenal knot, terrible leader line. I forget what spool you had, but it was, I think it was an old
This
one.
was a long time ago. I think it was like P line or something like that.
That's the problem right there. That answers everything.
After that, I literally put the 2 boxes on the top of my door frame and they've sat there there's dust all over them like that. Just haven't even touched them.
If it's old crap line like that, dude, I'd chuck it right away. No, I'm like, nope, not. I don't even want it in the house. All right, beyond Sherpa, he's gonna have his whole complimentary line of baits too. So whether you want Sherpa crawler or Sherpa gill or the mini gill, he's gonna have everything. I believe. I'm positive he does. Bullshad, as we previously mentioned, they're gonna be there. If you haven't ever been to one of these shows where Bullshad is present, and again, just because he mass produces baits does not take away from it whatsoever. There's this thing in the swim bait world where like people seem to take a step away and back up when they start seeing mass produced. Like they're really, really big on the handmade. They're handmade mass produced baits. And they're phenomenal. The guy has been at this forever and all the baits he makes are really, really good. And they're
amazing.
tested like all hell. So there's zero question. Like no matter what action or size, Sinclair, like it doesn't matter. Whatever you want, he does make it. And he's usually got a full complement of everything that he has that's got some custom paints on there that he only has specifically at expos. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for something special, tried and true, no questions asked for a glide,
Was
he's your
Mike
man.
was Mike actually going to be there this year?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard from somebody that he wasn't. I was like, yeah, right.
If you get a chance to talk to Mike, he'll make your day. Dude just loves talk fishing. Mm-hmm. And probably Kevin will be there as always. Brian, definitely. So there'll be plenty of people for you to talk to and ask any questions. You'll be good to go. Tom's Custom Baits, and wicked nice dude, phenomenal baits. He's, I would say, kind of on the up and coming, but I think he's probably a step or two ahead of that. We got a couple baits from earlier this year that, unfortunately, I didn't catch anything on, but dude, I love that bait. What was it? It was we called it calling it the whistling something because there was a hole where you could add weight to it to get something different out of it.
How was I calling it? I don't remember.
I got
One
the
of those
3-piece
stupid
wake.
names that I come up with.
I got the 3-piece trout wake, and you got the 2-piece
I got a glide.
8-inch glide.
Yep.
And dude, like they're phenomenal. What I liked about the wake bait that I got, it's really a wake and crank. So much better at waking, but if I want to, I can crank it down. I get it down several feet. It does everything extremely well. So if you're more in that realm, excuse me. There we go.
Yahtzee.
If you're in more of that realm where you're really interested in getting into these custom, like homemade baits, but you're trying not to break the bank on it, Bullshad's one really good one to look at, but Tom's Custom Bait is another good one to look at. And especially a bait like that where, and Sherpa does the same thing, something that excels at both as a wake bait and a crank down. Like you can't go wrong. And I really like what Tom has to offer. Really good paint schemes on his too, and he's got a variety of sizes and actions. You really can't go wrong.
Oh, yeah. I pretty much told him, we both told him what we want, and he custom made the baits for us. And I got my hands on it. I was like, this is perfect, because it's this perfect size bait. It's about that big, and it's the perfect size bait to use it the way I wanted to, just like a big jointed jerk bait, just to chop the ever-loving crap out of it.
Yeah.
Haven't caught anything on it. I used it a few times just to see the action, and I really haven't had the situation where had to use it. But I'm definitely going to put the time in this year and actually use it.
We also got there kind of late, or got them kind of late in the season too. And especially by that point, I didn't have my boat, so we were using my dad's boat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we were fishing in places that even traditional tackle, dude, we were struggling. There's a couple of like 3 fish days. So unsurprising we didn't get bit on the big stuff, in my opinion, but it is what it is. And we went out and tried night fishing too. We got our teeth kicked in. Like,
Yeah. Like, yeah.
like that was the point where we were really second guessing. Like,
We were staring
The
at the moon
remaining
half the
time.
night. Is that with John? Is that the night you're talking about? Yeah. And I was singing.
it's just like, oh, it was bad. Oh yeah, blue moon.
Blue Moon of Kentucky. If you haven't heard it, you should probably listen to it.
Yeah, it was not a good year for us, especially at the end of the night. But who else are in here? A couple other well-known names are going to be there. Clickbait Customs, Clutch Swim Baits. Golden Belt Customs is going to be there. We still have a handful of Golden Belt Custom and Big Bass Dreams collaboration baits that will be over in the Big Bass Dreams booth. So if you're familiar with it, they are phenomenal baits. We got to use them when we were up on Champlain for the Canadawood Camp this year. Oliver had some, so we went out, and I literally only threw a jackhammer and that Golden Belt Custom Glide for like the 6 hours we fished. Phenomenal bait. I'm still not that great at fishing glides, though, so I didn't catch anything. I did get trucked on it once, and I missed. It made me very sad. But
On what? Sorry.
on the Golden Belt Customs Glide.
Oh,
that day
yeah.
we went
I
out.
got hit too.
Yeah.
I just could not get him to stick.
I like it though, because it's another one of those that's really good at both. Get a good nice S glide out of it, but you can chop it really, really well. 7-inch or 7.5 inch, I forget. Was that collaboration? And there's 3 different paint schemes on them. So pick your poison, whatever meets your fancy. It's gonna be good.
They're hot.
Last but not least, Lance Ciotti. I know he's gonna be there. Anything that Joey makes is just stupid good. And then of course Swimbait Universe. We brought them up. They're gonna have a ton of stuff. I saw a comment somewhere about if we could get one swim bait. Okay, between needing to clear my throat and everything. There it is. You first. One that you're going to tell people about.
I'm just going to buy another Depths. No, I don't know. Honestly, I was just joking before. I really have no idea what I'm going to get. I'm like one of those people that walks into a place. I guess this is called impulsive. And just buy anything that looks shiny. So, but I am going to get a 247 for sure. Another one of those. I may buy one of the Golden Belt Customs.
I might buy one of those because I was really impressed by it. And I
yeah.
want another 7-inch glide. So.
And those things do not blow out. Like they will not.
God, no.
I was cranking that thing as fast as I could to make it, trying to get it to blow out, and it won't. Like I was swooping, like dragging it as fast as I could, and it won't blow out. They're amazing.
Yep. Yeah, I'm probably buying one of those. Because I want another 7-inch. I'll buy the 9-inch Shad Glide, and then I'll get Golden Belt Customs for my 7-inch. Spread the love.
I don't know.
Plus, I already know that 7-inch works really well.
We'll see what we get there.
I'm still getting a Clash 9 if I can get it. It's a giant swim bait that's a jerk bait. Like, how do you not get that?
Talk to Nate.
Oh, yeah, he's probably got like 40 of them.
I think he has a couple of them.
All right, I'll talk to Nate. All right, anyway, do me a favor. While I'm answering that question, can you grab the swim bait box? Because we're going to kill 2 birds, 1 stone here. Somebody asked about that. It says frogs and lizards.
Oh.
It's like line my finger up with his eye, redirect the focus. Before I answer that, to answer his, if there's one bait, like out of all my choices for one big swim bait that I could get while I'm there, then I'm going to say it's going to be a Clash 9 because I have a version of pretty much everything that I want except for a 7-inch glide that I've like extreme confidence in. That's one thing I'm missing, but I really, really, really want a Clash 9 because from everybody that I know that's fished them extensively, the way you can rig it, you can essentially make it like a giant jerkbait, and that makes me very excited. So that if I had to pick one, that's it.
I'm trying to look up the one that I have.
So I do have a couple of swim baits out. These are my Defcons, which I lent to Steve, the owner of Bass Fishing Electronics, and I just got them back very recently. Steven! Giant chip of paint missing.
I didn't even see that.
Honestly, it was probably already like that.
It probably
I don't
was.
care. They're not made to look pretty. They're meant to catch fish. And dude, this one of my first, like early on, big swim baits, the OG Defcon, the 7-inch. I've caught a stupid amount of fish on that. I love that bait. I know there's some lost love. But to answer your question about what do we store them in? Oh, I ripped the tag off. I have no idea. It's a Sterilite tub. Like that's it. I don't know. It's 14 inches long by maybe 6 by 6, something like that. I got them at Target, like $3. Well, at least when I first started buying them. It's a mess in there. I'm not gonna lie, but for like mass easy storage for big swim baits, especially if you get those old plastic hook covers, it's
And
phenomenal.
you can just dump them out. I'm just kidding.
And I mean, because they're such big baits, like there you go, there's Sherpa Gill right there. Love that bait. That one's pretty fancy.
What is that one?
That's my pit.
I know.
My pats. I got pats in there. Hang on.
There's another Sherpa.
2-piece
Psycho
bull
Gill.
glide, which I don't even know if you can get that anymore. Oh,
And look, you can fit
custom collar from our buddy Chris.
the big bait
different
sanity
Chris.
glide in there too.
Yes, the Explorer Glide 2 is always phenomenal. I do have a mess.
That was a depth.
Defiant, dude, we totally forgot to mention this. Defiant's gonna have these birds at the show for sale. They are finally released to the public. I mean, they've been for a little bit now, but that's gonna be there. He's not gonna be there, but that is the Purgezilla from Mr. Tightlines, New Hampshire based, always good. Lanciotti Psycho Gill. Like, okay, like I'm not doing this to like show off.
You can fit a lot of friggin' baits in those.
There's 2 BBZ rats now. I-wing, 135. Pardon me, I'm running out of table space. Another Sherpa.
I'll just sit back.
Hang on. There's my Tom's custom bait. I got a Gold Shiner 3-piece wake and crank, which is phenomenal. I really like that bait. This is one of the things that really started me on the wake bait craze. Andrew smashed the face off on his.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble here. Really troubling. Bull Shad Bull Wake. Devs 250.
Yes.
Hog Hunter Perch.
There's a lot of baits on the table.
That all came out of that one bin.
So I
And you
use.
saw how easy it was to get them all out. There's only a couple
I don't know
stuck
if-
together.
I don't know. I can't really show it because here you go. But it's the Plano Defender. It's actually a pistol case. It's got all the foam in it and all the fancy stuff inside of it. It's not the little cubes that you can pop out and like whatever, but you can cut it out with a razor knife and it's fine.
I'll just put that over there with the Defiant, please. I don't want to put that back in there. I kind of forgot it was in there.
But it works great. It holds. I mean, I got
A lot.
almost as many as this in that one case.
I have a problem.
It's just the ones that I use. So there, I mean, any case you can go get the Pelican case. Is it Pelican?
Yes.
And Harbor Freight has
Yeah, like
those.
knockoff Pelicans.
I forget what they're called, but they have those cases that have all the foam and everything in them. They're watertight, and
Die cut foam.
unless you throw
pull it
wet
apart.
baits in there, but. Just make sure your baits are somewhat dry when you put them in, because the foam holds the water and will rust out your bait, rust out your hooks, and can turn into a mess. So make sure your baits are somewhat dry when they go in there. But other than that, that's what I use.
Ho hum, don't mind me. Just gotta put everything back. And
And it can fit up to a 12-inch glide. Ask me how I know.
Oh yeah, you know what's funny is I don't know. Oh, it's on a shelf out there. I had a my Gancraft 230. Is that the one? You got the 303. I think
I got the 303. You got the I think that's the size.
That should be in here too. But it's not. Look at this. Hang on, almost done. What's room to spare? I didn't put the other 2 in there that weren't in there before. Voila. Thank you, sir. Dude, those Starlight things are the greatest thing ever.
Those pistol cases, I think it was $30, and those Pelican or whatever the knockoff brand at Harbor Freight, I think they're like 25 or something like that. They're super inexpensive.
Mark, I did see the comment post there that was pinned up earlier. Yeah, worth a few car payments, that's for sure. Especially if I was a see you next Tuesday and decided to start waffling off a lot of those. Dude, that's a lot of money sitting right there. Not my jam. Tell you what, I bought a Piz at the New England Fishing Expo in 2021. Was that the hellish snowstorm? Or was that 2020? What year was that?
That was 2 years ago.
2021. 2022. Yeah, 2022. I got a piss. And I don't know, man. Like, I got the crappie. It was the one that I wanted, and I just couldn't catch fish on it to save my life. And I was trying to get something else.
Hey, Corey.
What? I wanted to buy something else. And I was like, all right, if I'm going to do that, I got to sell one of my baits. And I had that piss. And I know for a fact that people were getting those at that show, the exact same one I had, turning around and waffling them. They're getting like $1,400-$1,500 for them. And I was like, damn, that's worth a lot of money. I'm not about that life. So I texted a couple friends. I'm like, hey, I got this. Who wants it? And my buddy David Roy jumped right on it. He's like, dude, I've been dying for that bait. I've been trying to get it for years. Like, I'll give you whatever you want. I was like, I paid $225 for it. It's got a light hook rash. Like, I'll take $225 for it if that's okay with you. He's like, you're dumb. I can't not pay you more. I was like, no, you can. Like, that's it. That's all I need. We're good. And cause that made me happy. Cause I'm not about that, man. I don't like flipping stuff. Like, it's like kind of like the whole craft beer scene when Treehouse is blowing up and people were, selling a 4-pack of beer for like $150 to people down in Washington D.C. for like $20 worth of beer. It's like,
That's dumb.
Oh, dude, I hate that shit. I'm not about that life. So, no, I was like, dude, if you give me what I paid for, I'll be happy. And he was more than happy. It worked out because he fishes it. He still has it. He uses the hell out of it, and it's something he desperately wanted. Like, that's win-win in my book. Same thing. We had 2 monks from LFOD, and we just weren't using it enough. So I was like, well, I mean, screw it. I'll sell mine. So I texted Colby. I was like, hey man, like we really don't need 2. Do you have anybody on your list that's dying for one? He was like, actually, yeah. So he gave me his contact info. One of our subscribers ended up being Matt. Got it to him. Same price. Like, dude, it had been used like twice. It was like, we only had it for a few months. We're just not using it. We're not getting bid on top water to save our lives. So it's just sitting in the box. Like, just buy it for the same price. And he was more than happy. I could have made a fortune on that, but I'm not about that. So,
Nope.
Mike did ask an excellent question. What is that box worth now? I don't know. I don't know.
Probably some money.
Because I don't even know. The monk, where the hell is the monk? The monk is here, but it's in a different bin. It's in the boat. If I were to waffle that monk and that Pats and my other Pats, which is actually, I think, tied to a rod out in there right now.
I could buy a boat.
That's got to be about $2,000 just for those 3 baits. If I had to take a guess. I don't know. That's just for this was those 3 baits. I could probably get $2,000 between the 3 of them. If I went for like top dollar, going that route, and I'm just not. I don't know. After that, though, I mean, the Sherpas I could probably still get retail for. That Lanciotti Psycho Gill I might be able to get a little bit more than retail for, even though it's kind of a strange color. Everything else probably the same as retail price. And that 2-piece bull shad with the brush tail, that big white 8-inch one. They don't make that anymore. That was like a random thing that he did.
Oh, yeah,
I might be able to
yeah.
get good money for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not getting rid of that. Dude, that's like a wicked high float, like giant S-turns. That's a dock killer. I'm never getting rid of that bait.
I buy baits. That was your first glide fish bait. Up on Champlain.
Yes, so it was actually my second. I forgot back in 2017. I think it was 2017. I bought one of those 3-piece trout from Savage Gear. Not Savage Gear, somebody else. Who the hell else is that's been doing them like the cheap ones for a while? Maybe it was Savage. But it was a 3-piece, but like the tail was like mostly a soft plastic tail. And I had no idea what it was. But apparently it was supposed to be like a glide. And I didn't know, and it was a wicked slow sinker. And I was out of the pond in which we do not speak. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just remember it was 2017. It was out there in the summer. I was like, I was crushing them out in the middle. And that was when they were truly blowing up on those perch bait balls. So I was like,
That they don't do anymore.
no, screw it. I'm going to throw it. And it took forever for this thing to sink. And I was just slow rolling it because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what the hell it was. I just a big 3-piece giant swim bait. Well, giant. It's like 7-inch. Maybe not even. Maybe it was only a 6-inch. I caught a 3.5-pound largie on it. And that was my first like true big bait fish that I got. I was like, sick.
I did not know that.
Yep. And then I sent it to a buddy to get painted, and unfortunately it never got done. So he still has it. He's had it since 2017.
Jesus. I buy baits to use them and to break them. And I haven't really broken many recently. Except for that one depths that now takes on water. That's my deep diving depths.
I forgot about that.
I think it sinks like a rock.
Brian had a good question. No, I don't think they're going to have the hair jig. I know they were talking about it, but I don't know if it's going to be ready.
Dan had a good
That's what it
comment.
was. Dan did have a very good comment. That's that next one up, por favor. Ben's won't be carrying anything that competes with vendors. Example, no Sematus, no Crazy Hick, no Beast Coast, no Fresh Baits, no etc. because it competes with vendors who are there selling themselves. That is fair. However, I think what you could and, in my opinion, should do is talk to those guys. What are their hottest sellers? Bring those. Because if they're the hottest sellers, and especially if they're like, yeah, this is my hot seller and I'm low on stock for it for the show, then as a vendor of said companies, I think it'd be fair for you to have that there to be able to like, oh, damn, Sematus is out of this, and Hick Bait's out of this, Beast Coast is out of that. Like, not a problem. I know that Ben's has it too. For the hot sellers, for all the other stuff, like, I don't know. Just food for thought. I don't know. Anyway, last but not least, actually, there are a couple here. Speaking of Sematus, we did have him on the list for other companies to mention they're going to be there. Sematus Baits, we've used quite a few of his baits over the years. Always good stuff. Plus, he's a good dude. We had him on the show, like a year ago? It's been a while. Maybe a little longer than a year.
Maybe longer than a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. It was funny, though. It was a great show.
We just realized that we hit 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't. He did.
Yeah, me, of all people, realized something.
I get a message, and it was a Facebook post. I'm like, what the hell is he sending me of us? And I clicked it. I was like, oh, damn. It's been 2 years already? He's like, no, dude, it's been 3. I was like, oh, shit.
It's crazy.
I can't control them. Remember.
You said that too.
Or the mounts, apparently. So, again, Smash is going to be there. Another good tackle shop. Good tournament trail. Aside from Ben's, obviously, Berkshire Bass. Those guys are going to be there. They're good dudes. Drop Shot Jock. We've talked about them on the show. And it's that little hook keeper that you put on your rod, but it's specifically meant that it can be used not only for a hook, but also a drop shot weight. I literally am replacing all of my hook keepers as they break with the Drop Shot Jock. Like, it's seriously the dumbest, greatest thing on earth. Because you see it and you're like, how can it like be that much of a game changer, as much as I hate using that phrase? And then you use it and you're like, why has nobody done this before in years? And that's literally my first thought when I saw it. And then I put it on and I was like, holy shit. That's the smartest thing in the world. And it's the cheapest thing that you could possibly invest in for anything that you do in fishing, right? Like a 2-pack's like $5 or something like that. Just buy a bunch, throw them on every single rod that you own that you could ever possibly want to hang any bait from. And it's great. The thing I like about that too is it works really, really well for big swim baits. Because I like to hook one of the trebles on my reel itself. And then I like any sort of hook keeper that has the O-ring to hold it in place to adjust. So I can hang the front treble hook up on that. So that way it doesn't constantly fall off the rod, like especially going down the lake, bouncing around on waves. It doesn't come unpinned and start bashing across the freaking front deck and scare the crap out of me. So those guys are awesome. I cannot recommend them enough. Will's Custom Rods. So he used to be part of Wicked Custom Rods.
He used to be the owner of Wicked Custom Rods.
Yep. And then sold it and got out of the game for a little bit. Now he's back. So he's going to have a ton of ice fishing rods for those of you that are interested. And this is, I believe, the last year they're going to have those really sexy, like, epoxy carbon fiber grips. Because the guy that he got those from,
his ice fishing rods are
really
they're top notch.
Good.
They're so good. I've been using them for the last
4 years?
4 years?
Yeah, I think it's been that long. If you want one, this is it.
I know.
Because the guy stopped making them.
I still
These were
have
just
one.
leftover. You have one of those carbon ones, though?
Not the carbon one anymore.
You should get the carbon one. Remember we went out ice
Because
fishing?
I broke that one in half, remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember we went out and we went with John somewhere. And you guys had the non-carbon. I had my carbon, the epoxy carbon. And you both were using yours and then you used mine. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
World of a difference.
Yeah.
I like that rod. I don't ice fish that much, but I always go out and I jig just because that rod's so nice.
I went out and grabbed my jet sled and I looking and I saw that rod. I'm like, oh yeah, forgot I had that. That's sick. That saves me a bunch of money this year.
Yep. Who else did we mention? Oh, Rocky Ledge Tackle, former sponsor of ours. They're dude, wicked good. And they make really good spinner baits. A lot of really good other items, really good custom paints on square bills and stuff. And with any luck, he'll still have a ton of those old school Mega Bass 110s, like the original Itos. Ice fishing. It's a thing you could do in your backyard instead of ice skating on that big...
Oh, dude, I want to come play hockey. I I gotta get my skates and
I
everything
want to,
back.
but I know it's gonna hurt a lot.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible. My ankle's just gonna give out on me. Whatever.
Yeah,
Talkie.
that's true.
Supposed to get hurt.
Yeah. Did I mention the aluminum fishing series? He's gonna be there. Chris Martin. And he's gonna be talking about the trail itself for anybody that owns an aluminum boat. Like it's an aluminum only tournament trail, aluminum fishing series.
And it's nationwide too.
Yeah, and so he scaled it both back and up this year. So the number of events went down, but the amount of money being invested and the payouts in turn have gone up. So in my opinion, I like that better. I would rather see there's so many tournaments, it's not even funny. It's quite insane. So to have now him switching into that focus where it's less events but much more money, I personally like that better. I don't have an aluminum boat though, so it's kind of a moot point. But the tournament trail that he runs are the kind that we've been going after, right? Like 6 in one, half a dozen another. You either fish 12 club events, all in your state, $100 a pop, or you fish 4 bigger events at $300 a pop, and it's still $1,200 out of your pocket. But now you're only traveling, 4 times kind of far versus 12 times not so far to kind of far. And money invested doesn't change. Actually, if anything, it's a little cheaper because it's less driving, less wear and tear. Much more time saved, that's for damn sure, and potentially bigger payouts. So that's the route he's going.
And he's a wicked good dude.
He is a wicked good dude. He's funny as hell. And
Yeah,
his beard is marvelous.
Oh, dude, his beard is fantastic.
I don't know how long he's been growing that thing.
I wish I could have had a beard like that. Just comb it down like.
So I don't even notice, but I did trim mine back. I hadn't shaved in like 5 or 6 weeks, and I didn't like it. My beard's too patchy.
Jamie, lace him up. Lace up
Put
your
you on
skin.
the boards.
Dude, last time I played hockey,
Put me in the
literally the
hospital.
last. So I played hockey for, my whole life up until probably 5 years ago when I kind of started to slow down. The last time I played hockey, puck went to the boards. I went for the puck. Another kid went for the puck. He put his elbow up, hit me right in the jaw, dislocated my jaw. And now, every time,
God damn, man.
every time I open my mouth wide enough, it pops. Sorry.
I really hope Chris could hear that in the background because I know it's going to make him gag. He's just like,
Sorry. Every time.
Oh.
That gross.
I really hope everybody else can hear it. That's brutal.
I'm sure they can.
I don't know, man. I think we've covered. We didn't cover everybody. We covered pretty much everybody that we really meant to.
Touched on a few.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure how long it was going to take us to go through it. It's a pretty extensive list, but I wanted to make sure we left plenty of time, as we did, to answer a lot of relative questions to whoever it was we were talking about, or their bait offerings, the whole 9 yards. And I think we did a pretty damn good job of that. But we will be there all weekend. Andrew will be, again, with Bass Fish Electronics, there to answer any and all of your questions. Dude, if he can't answer it, and Brian can't answer it, and Steve can't answer it, then, there is nobody that knows the answer. That's what it's going to come down to. There's
If Steve doesn't know the answer, nobody knows the answer.
yeah. Now, if you need to know a little bit more about your saltwater transducer kind of game, I'm your guy because that's my job. So if you're interested by any means, come on over, shoot the shit with us. I'll be in my booth all weekend. I will be doing seminars. I looked earlier. He had not. Dan had not posted the seminar schedule yet, but I'll be doing at least one seminar up on the hog trough and at least one seminar over on the stage. And I honestly already forgot what my topics were going to be about. Hog trough, I know, was going to be a little bit on presentations. What was it? Something along the lines of expanding your capabilities with soft plastics, something to that effect. One thing that we talked about a lot is, how we can take one bait and make it work for a multitude of techniques. So that's kind of the heart of the topic that I'm going to be covering. And that'll be up in the bait tank. It's going to be entirely showcasing big Beast Coast fishing.
Big Bass Coast.
Why? We're very fortunate to have 2 amazing sponsors, and their names are my brain. Big Beast Bass Dreams Coast. Shit.
These guys. And these guys.
So that's the hog trough one. And then I think what I was going to talk about was something along the similar lines up on the main stage, but something you and I have talked about a lot is maximizing your rod and reel choices. I mean, we've covered that extensively, and I honestly almost decided to do that tonight to talk about that again. Was just about rods and reels and line, because we haven't talked about that in a little bit. But I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to save it for the expo. So if you guys are interested, I'll be up there doing both of those at some point over the weekend. Again, February 2nd through the 4th, down in Marlborough, Mass. Keep an eye out on the schedule, and I really hope to see a lot of you there just for like the weekend in general. Come visit us. Come visit Andrew at Bass Fishing Electronics. Come and, yeah, just listen to me maybe at the Hog Trough or the main stage. Lost my train of thought. I got a message. It confused me.
Who?
Been a very long week already. It's only Wednesday. Brain.
I've been working on boats and packing a trailer full of expo stuff. And working on the boat for the expo.
Yeah, that thing's gonna be sick when it's done.
It's pretty much done.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be good. I think honestly that's gonna be the best thing about having that, like, for you guys on the show, is having that boat there. You're gonna have so many people coming in there. You're like, I'll come over and say hi when I can. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, I won't.
You're not
I'm
gonna
gonna
have
be busy
any
the
time.
whole time.
You're gonna be busier than I am, and I've been, dude. We've both been blessed. All right, if we're gonna talk about this for another minute or two here before we go, we are truly blessed. We can't thank you guys enough, because the last two shows we did was insane, and one of them we didn't even have a booth, but we talked all day. And then the other one was the New Hampshire show, New Hampshire Fishing Expo for 2023. I talked nonstop for 3 straight days. Nonstop. And every time I was just about done with the conversation, someone would come in and backfill that. And it was honestly very tiring, but so fucking rewarding.
Dude, the end of the week or weekend, just like, my jaw hurts from talking.
I haven't been that tired in a long time at the end of every day. Like, by the time you're all said and done, you pack up everything, you get home, you eat. And, it's a long day because for the vendor, like, show's 10 to 7 on Saturday. So you're in there at like 8:30 and you're there till about 7:30.
Jesus, I'm going to need a drink.
Yeah. I'll pack some rum and cokes for us. I'm not even kidding. No. Anyway, but
Red Bull.
That we literally had a cooler full of water bottles and Monsters last year, and I'm gonna pack more water. That's the lesson I learned from the last show. However much water we thought we needed, bring twice as much.
Right, dude. You drink a lot.
Yeah.
Talk a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Christ, we let me talk for an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm already like parched. I need.
Hey,
water.
I showed my true patience with those kids.
Dude, you were a saint. A saint.
All day.
For 3 straight days.
Like, from the age of like 5 to like 12, I was teaching all these kids how to flip with baitcasters.
Yeah, but dude, you guys did awesome with that. Dude, you really did awesome with that. And it was funny because, like, I didn't anticipate the amount of people that were going to come talk to us. And like, looking at the flipping boards, I thought we were going to be like splitting duty on that the whole weekend. And I never got a chance to go over there. It was just you handled it and you did phenomenal. And then when we got talking about New England show, before you knew definitively you're going for Steve, my wife was like, "Are you going to do the flipping boards?" I'm like, "No, we're not."
He asked me, he's like, "I don't think we're going to do flipping boards." I'm like, "Thank God."
Because if I definitively knew we could split duty on it, then maybe I might consider it. But we're not doing that again. Tell you what, though, if there's anybody watching that wants to have the flipping boards and the platforms, I'll bring them for you. The boards and the targets, like, I'll absolutely bring those for somebody else to use. So, Dan, if you know somebody wants to do that, let them know. I'll bring them. They can have them. They can use them. Not have them. They can use them for the weekend. Then I'll bring them back home. Happy to do that, but we're not doing that this year. No power, no electronics, no flipping, nothing. Just there to talk and hawk. And Z20, I'm glad you brought that up. And Chris, thank you for pinning it. Hit the like button. For those that haven't done it yet, please, if you could drop a like. I will say there is a definitive glitch on YouTube that's been going on for about a month now. That, like, I know if I go in the back end and look at the analytics on this, it shows more than 2 likes on the stream. Right? That's all I can see right now. But I know it's way higher than that. So, just, again, if you haven't done it yet, before you go take off, if you could please do it. We'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the weekend, next weekend. We got one more weekend here, kind of playing it, laying low, probably not fishing. My youngest son's birthday is on Sunday, and it looks like it's going to rain anyway.
On Sunday?
Yeah.
What about Saturday?
Saturday is actually supposed to be very nice out, but both my kids have basketball.
Like enough to have ice?
No, it's going to be like 40s.
Damn it. I mean, good.
If you go
but
for ice, you're gonna have to drive north.
I might.
If you go to Washington area,
I know.
different story. Like, I mean, if that guy was on 3 inches of ice there, you go a little bit north, especially where Kyle took you. It's probably like
If we
6
go to
inches.
that one spot, there's probably 6 to 8 inches on that.
Yep, it's a different world up there.
It is.
I actually just learned something the other day about that. The town center, the town office, which one of the two? I think it's just the town center in Washington, New Hampshire, not near Mount Washington, just the town of Washington, New Hampshire, is the highest elevation of a town center in the state.
Bass and Beers.
Bass and Beers Radio, Bass and Beer Radio, not to be confused with Bass and Beers from Dennis.
Oh, no, I know.
Pretty
No.
dope though.
Bass and Beers Radio. No, that was Dennis. Sorry.
Bass and Beers.
Hi,
is
welcome to
Dennis.
the show.
But yes, hi. How are you? Sorry, you got here a little late. About to jump off here, but I appreciate you stopping by. That's it, man.
I think that's about it.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys, and I'm really looking forward to the show, and I hope to see a lot of you there. I'll be there to talk all weekend. Andrew will be, but for electronics, it's gonna be good. We're done. Wrap it up.
All right,
We're gonna go
see
play some
ya.
of the finals.
Go for it.
Rocket League.
Either way.
Okay, either.
We will see you guys next week, as always, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/@Reel Northern Bass.
Got it.
We will see you guys next week.
Perfection.
Adios.
Have a great night, everybody.